to it. So his supporters are now posting, "Sell out. This is so disappointing. Who has you compromised? So much for Maha." But hang on, okay? Before we cancel the man, let's remember why so many people trusted RFK Jr. in the first place, because he fought for transparency, real science, and informed consent. And here's the part that mainstream outlets gloss over. The original MMR trials were incredibly weak. They tested the vaccine on just 342 kids. That's it. There was no true placebo either. They used other vaccines instead of saline, and they only tracked side effects for 42 days. And within that short window, more than half of participants reported gastrointestinal or respiratory symptoms dismissed as unrelated or other viruses. That's the shaky foundation behind one of the most widely administered shots in history. So yeah, when Kennedy, of all people, appears to endorse that shot, it feels like a betrayal. But here's the strategic layer perhaps people are missing. As HHS Secretary, RFK Jr. is now operating inside a system he spent decades criticizing from the outside. The MMR vaccine is official policy. He can't just erase that overnight. But what he can do, and what he's already doing, is start quietly assembling independent scientists to reevaluate vaccine safety trials, including the MMR. And that brings us to something else the media isn't highlighting. Peter Marks, the FDA's top vaccine regulator, he just resigned. Why? Because Kennedy is threatening to do something revolutionary. Reopen the science. Not whitewashed pharma studies, not the bought and paid for journals, real, randomized, placebo-controlled human trials. The kind Big Pharma has spent billions avoiding. So now what? Do we scream traitor and throw him out the movement he built? Or do we recognize that in the middle of an outbreak that tragically claimed 2 kids' lives, RFK Jr. had to go along with the current policy until he has the ammunition to really change it? Now, it sucks because it feels like he's just playing politics rather than standing for his principles. So look, I get the anger. I do. But before we write off Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on this issue, let's see if he really begins to tear down the walls of regulatory capture by getting those independent trials that are needed done. And that's what could cause the entire pharma captured system to come crashing down. And that's what they're really afraid of. And that's